I'd like you to speak about your research projects.
They're mixing these huge molecules with smaller self-assembling molecules, and you get
Every student should consider the opportunities here at Notre Dame.
You have 4 years in which to open the entire world for yourself.
These colors down here are terrific.
Students get an opportunity to follow their interests.
That allow me to take so many different classes.
We have so many really smart, really self-motivated students.
We are involved in the spiritual and the academic.
Notre Dame has a distinct emphasis on thinking and caring simultaneously.
Service is a huge part of being a Notre Dame student.
You're surrounded by the smartest faculty in the world.
How can we turn to the Constitution to clarify those issues?
They really are pushing you to open up these really unique doors.
Studying abroad is a fantastic experience.
Rome is more than I could have imagined.
The goal is to make our students emerge as true scholars.
It makes for a very interesting and unique undergraduate experience.
My name is Andrea Libman. I am a senior Peace Studies major here at Notre Dame. Because South Africa is a constitutional democracy, I was able to present at the Notre Dame Undergraduate Peace Conference. Religion was so crucial in the anti-apartheid movement in South Africa. I presented on the research that I did 2 years ago in South Africa, looking at issues of gender equality in the post-apartheid government.
He argues that things like American culture and the economy are actually more important.
It's often been that I've had a class with a professor and was very interested in looking at a question that came out of that class closer. So I've been able to do independent studies with professors to look at those more focused questions. Since my freshman year, I've belonged to the Pascagoula East Musical Company. It's a group that's been on campus for 11 years now, putting on one main stage production each year. So even with doing all of the research work, I've been able to keep this up as a fun hobby.
Culture may influence one's political positions, but it's not the only force.
My thesis in political science looked at civil liberties and habeas corpus issues in the history of wartime. This is kind of the opening statement that we talked about. So this was another opportunity to work one-on-one with a professor on a larger project.
It's important to just say over and over again what those cases are.
A lot of people encourage you to publish and are going to help me put together a publishable form of this thesis and send it out to different magazines and journals. I'll be heading to Ireland as a George Mitchell scholar, studying international developments. And I think it's really largely made possible because of all the work that I've done at Notre Dame, the unique opportunities that professors in various institutes have helped me through.
Physics has always just been kind of a personal interest. This modern physics laboratory, which is here in Jordan Hall of Science, it's a beautiful building. And we have all state-of-the-art equipment and are able to really examine firsthand, experimentally, these quantum phenomena, nuclear physics.
The nuclear potential, of course, goes to infinity.
I have a great diversity of classes this semester. Quantum mechanics, too, has been a fantastic course.
So in this model, your half-life is essentially completely dependent upon the relationship between E and Z.
Exactly. And why?
The professors know me by name. They go out of their way to help me. I play soccer with a lot of my physics professors at lunchtime, which is a blast. It really clears your mind and lets you get back to work. After the initial mixing, you get this amorphous layer, which is kind of chaotic. I'm in the Glen Family Honors Program, and they've provided some fantastic opportunities for me.
The Glen Family Honors Program is an amazing opportunity for a select group of Notre Dame students to further their scholarly endeavors.
It can only be explained if there's a substantial difference in osmotic pressure that's going to push. I really enjoy the small seminar classes that they offer. I mean, we get fantastic professors.
During their 4 years in this program, they're assisted with financial mentoring and collaborative support from the faculty.
The Glen Family Honors Lounge has been a great resource. There's a huge emphasis here on collaborative learning. And every homework assignment I have in physics, I sit down with my physics friends and we sit there and crank out the assignments.
There's a huge magnetic field which bends the ions in a circle.
My thesis was about a cyclotron for cancer treatment using protons rather than X-rays, sort of a new emerging cancer treatment technology.
Using protons, we can completely avoid radiating that inner ear.
Writing a thesis has been a fantastic experience, and it's been tremendously rewarding.
Thank you very much.
I decided to become an art major in my sophomore year. My thesis project consisted of 3 paintings. I did all of those in a matter of a couple months.
Right now, they are existing in space, but the environment is not affecting the bodies.
My advisor for my thesis project was Jean Dibble, and she's an absolute genius.
This part can be warm.
I met with her once a week, and we really worked together to make this project happen. I've taken classes with her, but I also had focused one-on-one time with her too, which was just invaluable. She was wonderful. I'm the captain of the Notre Dame figure skating team. I have been for 2 years. I've been skating for longer than I've been painting, so it's the one thing that I love just as much.
Make sure you set up first and then go back.
I've also taken those skills from skating, and I've been teaching lessons to children and adults.
Up and then snap around.
So I've gotten to know a lot of people from the community through that as well. Spending your senior year working on a thesis project allows you to graduate with a bit more of an extensive and concentrated portfolio, which is really important whether or not you're getting a job or going to grad school. Everyone wants to see your work. And getting a BFA really allows you to do some concentrated work. It all kind of culminates with a big opening with hundreds of people. It's huge. I mean, everyone gets to see the work. It's really a wonderful experience. I happened to receive the Ephraimson Emerging Undergraduate Artist Award, which is granted by the Snipe Museum. And I also received the Emile Jacques Gold Medal, which is the best in show. So it's a wonderful surprise.
Grant started, in a sense, by saying that there's some kind of existential fault line there.
My freshman year, as I started to take my introduction to philosophy and theology, I realized that these were 2 disciplines that really held a grip on me, and I really wanted to combine them. In a sense, they might both be guilty of the same sin. I am a participant in what is the joint program in philosophy and theology, and that's a special degree. He's on trial for being a person, for being human. Through this program, we have extra requirements like a classical language and other more in-depth programs that combine the 2 disciplines.
So wenn ich ja alle die Blätter sehen können.
I studied German, and I realized how much I wanted to study abroad. And so I received a fellowship to spend my junior year in Germany, and this was a self-designed program. While the academics and being immersed in a foreign culture were outstanding, what I learned the most from the program was a new sense of independence, not only in my life, but also in my academic life, and really owning my studies in theology, philosophy, and in German, and being able to combine that in a new culture, in a new setting that was completely unfamiliar from anything I'd accomplished here at Notre Dame. One of the best things about my room is not only its size, but also the ability that it lets you have to study and to relax.
I'm concerned about this arrest warrant.
As part of my study here at Notre Dame, I've also taken an internship at the Juvenile Justice Center, and I've worked with the Public Defender's Office to help them interview clients and go to court when we're dealing with spheres of law that have to do with children.
I'd like to go ahead and ask now that he be released on 30 days trust house arrest.
Well, the honors track at Notre Dame is definitely a rigorous track to take, but it's also completely manageable. There are people to help you, and the support's there to take it on.
anthropologist. We attempt to understand and explain foreign cultures.
I have a major in anthropology, pre-med, and a minor in Portuguese.
There are lots of varieties of American English that do this.
When I was in high school, I was really good at sciences.
Step number 2 is N-group analysis.
But I was really passionate about humanities as well.
What have been the major issues affecting Black Union soldiers?
It goes back to this holistic approach to learning. That's what I love about Notre Dame, that it allows me to have that liberal arts experience. You know, I'm pre-med, so I'm taking biochemistry, genetics, all these science classes. But at the same time, I've been able to take literature. I'm actually minor in Portuguese literature. I love languages. So I started taking Portuguese, and then I just fell in love with the language. Esa obsesión por aparentarse perfecto. I don't spend 24 hours a day studying. I teach about 5 hours a week of Latin dance. Also, I volunteer at Memorial Hispanic Initiative Center. And I teach dance to people that have diabetes.
Una, dos, y vuelta.
It's been a great experience. Sophomore year, I decided to apply to this field research school with Professor Agustin Fuentes. He's a primatologist in the anthropology department. He helped me make a proposal. I applied to Europe.
Europe is the thing that most makes me wish I had been an undergraduate at Notre Dame myself.
UROP, the Undergraduate Research Opportunity Program, provides an infrastructure that enables students to do research.
It opens up doors to go places and to meet entire different communities of people that you never would.
Andrea was part of an 8-student team that I took to Gibraltar, all on undergraduate research opportunity funding.
We studied the macaques that live there on the rock.
Andrea and her 7 peers worked for a month in Gibraltar researching and turning all of this information into research papers that have been published since then.
It was pretty amazing. Out of my window, I could see Africa, I could see Spain and the Mediterranean Ocean. It was really sweet. And a monkey once in a while.
An enormous percentage of Notre Dame students study abroad.
It's a different world outside the United States, and you have to get used to that. You almost go in expecting people to be more or less the same as you're used to, and then it's totally different, and it's great. My fun class is theater class. I really get to go kind of crazy in this class. It's in Italian, so you're still thinking, but you're really expressing yourself also. It's a really unique experience. An Italian poetry class I have in the morning. Today we actually had a guest speaker, famous contemporary Italian poet, Yolanda Insana. And that's a great opportunity because there's so many people that live in Rome. This is a center for everything. Mio barbiere.
Nome di origine greca.
I get to practice my language all the time.
Lui è avvocato.
I really feel like almost like an Italian now. If you just walk forward, you'll run into a pizzeria. And they don't do slices like I'm used to in the States. They do big square pies and they cut it up, but it's delicious. I have 7 roommates from Notre Dame. We usually go to the fresh market and buy meat, and fresh food, you can't beat that. We like to stay together for dinner. Nothing tastes better than getting fresh food and putting your own work into it and then sitting at the dinner table with your friends. Rome is more than I could have imagined. Rome is perfect.
Great. A lot of the research that I get to do when I'm looking at medieval housing, Oxford is built around and through the time, and a lot of the medieval houses are in Oxford, so I can go and look at the old structures. The campus is really beautiful, and it's not just on the outside. The hall where we eat, you have your long tables, you have your lamps, you have a high table at the end. It's really wonderful. As a history major, I meet with about 2 tutors a trimester.
Now, in the case of get 10 start in case...
I felt sorry for him.
Yes, he's a put shop, isn't he?
There's nowhere to hide in a tutorial session because it's one-on-one, and you form a bond with your tutor as you keep going, because they can push you very personally in a way that can't be done in a giant lecture hall. It's work and work and work, and then you do more work. We have to do a lot of reading, and when I can, I do try to work in my room because I can have my own sort of study environment all set up. The city of Oxford, it's a great place to stay. We're nestled right in the heart of the main area of town. When you do get out of your room, when you're done studying, you can go meet with anyone, you can go to restaurants. The Oxford experience is about self-reliance and independent thought. It's about self-motivation and exploring your own interests. It's a wonderful experience here.
Project was to find what's in common in this tradition.
It's also a combination of two words, mal and criado.
Every student should consider an honors track.
It's definitely a rigorous program.
The X-ray or gamma ray comes in and it knocks out this electron.
It's in fact very stimulating.
You can really choose your specific interest and explore it with the guidance of these incredible experts.
You're learning more than you really could ever have hoped for.
If you want to grow as an individual and a scholar, if you want to move beyond the classroom and break down those four walls and really learn about the world, then the honors track is for you.